Yo, what's going on, guys? Bexio back, and today we had a brand new video back on Bitcoin because Bitcoin refuses to stop pumping. It is pushing $55,000 right now. You can see this, and the chart just looking great. Bears in full hibernation mode right now, and Shocktober, Pumptober, whatever you want to call it, is playing out insanely good. But look at the charts. Obviously, we can see it didn't spend much time at all in this red zone. I thought this would be a much bigger range of resistance because of how it acted in the past, but we blew right by it with no regard and actually went above the 53,000 roughly for over here to set a higher high. That is by itself getting a little more bullish with charts too on the short term. And we are in this zone of no resistance. So we'll see if we run all the way up to almost $60,000. This 59.4 or 59.6 might be the last resistance range where we might get a bounce down off of before trying to go up and create new all-time highs. But it does appear that Bitcoin is on its way to new all-time highs. The charts looking great. The fundamentals great. Long-term holders are what's attributing to this, where the supply is just being held by strong hands, so it's just not on the market. They can be shown in something like this, talking about long-term holders own the highest percent of sovereign supply in history at almost 81%, and sovereign supply's total supply not on exchanges. So that would be things probably in cold storage or even hot wallets, but not on an exchange itself. So they are long-term holders, have strong hands. The majority of Bitcoin is in those hands. And if 81% is in strong hands, that means that only 19% is actually on the market trading and able to buy. So even if somebody wanted to buy Bitcoin and dive in, there's only 20% roughly of the supply that can go around. And when you dive into that even deeper, the price has to explode if there's a ton of demand and this long-term holders won't sell. So at some point you get to a price where you have to keep pushing the price up to try and buy it from the long-term holders. And that price is probably very high. So as demand goes up, the price is going to have to go up to match it. That's economics 101. And for big news for Bitcoin, back over $1 trillion in market cap. We love to see that $1 trillion asset back like nothing happened. We just know the weakness in the market that happened. This like mini bear market we had in the summer and for a few months. And if you stuck it out, then you got to be very happy with where we are now. And looking towards new all-time highs. We're looking towards that 63,000 about this mark, or 65,000, almost 65. So about another $10,000 and we'll be at all-time high. So it's not that far away. That would break a lot of people's bear market scenarios because everyone's saying, dead cat bounce, it won't do this, it won't make a new all-time high. And if it makes a new all-time high, then they're wrong. So we'll see if we can get up there. Like we said before, 59,600. The next little resistance level. Who knows how big of a resistance it's going to be? We did only interact with it a few times over here. So we'll see if it pumps straight through it or finds a little bit of correction here. We will probably have not a correction, but like a down move, maybe a few $1,000s to move down. Just kind of get that little dip out and then continue pumping up. I don't think we go straight skyrocket up to 65,000. And the miners have started accumulating Bitcoin again. You can see a few weeks of selling. Bitcoin miners started accumulating again. And we know that this is a good sign and usually a pretty bullish sign for Bitcoin miners when they're accumulating. It's less supply onto the market. If there's more demand or demand stays the same, then its price has to go up. So we see these charts too going down into this price here. You see it's starting to sell off, and that's when the Bitcoin price kind of went down or stabilized, and then they stopped selling off and started accumulating. You see the price bounce up and rally. They started selling again. We see it dip a little bit, and now it's flipped, and we're seeing the price go up yet again. So we should see, or we could see a pretty good pump in price if miners start to accumulate Bitcoin again. But what we got to realize too, now miners can hold on to their Bitcoin and not necessarily need to sell it to continue mining and continue operations. A lot of them are publicly traded. They can raise money through the stock market, through debt and stuff, through companies, and doing it through public markets instead of selling their Bitcoin. And the same kind of talks about these long-term holders. We see added 2.35 million Bitcoin to their stacks since the bottom in March, which you can see directly right here. This bottom out here, covering it a little bit, but you can still see 2021 low and was 10 million or 10.91 million Bitcoin, exploded up to now it is, 13.26 million is in the hands of long-term holders, and that is great to see. This huge explosion up in price matches up with a move up in price here, but we could see it even push even further in price because of long-term holders locking it up and not even starting to sell off yet. So we see this huge rally into starts of sell-offs, which is what people might start to do, sell into strength to kind of confirm profits and stuff. But we haven't seen it go down at all yet, so this huge move up in price probably is on the horizon. Six-figure Bitcoin, definitely not out of the question. And the margin data, just to wrap this video up, obviously longs and shorts still looking amazing. The longs continuing to drop off a little bit here. We'll change to the 7-day, but longs continuing to drop off. Shorts under 1,000 and got squeezed. Some people are saying there was a short squeeze. That's why the price got pumped up so much. And that could have been, but longs continue to fall off a cliff. Shorts actually fell off a cliff. So definitely some sort of squeeze. And that could have pushed the price up here. But everything shaping up very nicely where this volatility, even if we were to see prices drop to 53,000. There's not a lot of leverage in the system here at 32,000 long. So if it was to drop a little bit, there probably wouldn't be mass long liquidation. There'd probably be some, but nothing enough to really push the price down. And shorts not recovering. They're under 1,000. They are just nowhere near recovering, continuing to drop, and makes sense. So people not confident in shorting Bitcoin, and we only have 15.1% to go until we reach a new all-time high, and then we're back in price discovery. Who knows where it goes? Does it run to 70, 80, 90, 100K before coming back down? What happens? Does their extreme FOMO kick in and then the price really explodes? A lot of things are on the table. But that's going to do it for this video. A little bit of moves on Bitcoin. The price exploding right now over 55,000. Really good to see. A lot of bears being proven wrong, and supply or Shocktober, Pumptober, whichever one you want to call it, coming in at full effect. But as always, guys, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I'll see you guys in my next video.